Well, it's that time of year. Yes, it is the most wonderful time of the year. For me, anyways, it is. I love Christmas, and I know many of you do too. However, we also have to remember that for some people, it's not such a wonderful time of the year. I know of several people who have lost loved ones just in the last few weeks. This is a difficult time. There's others that have had bad experiences throughout the years that Christmas is not a good holidays or they're going through stressful times. And so facing the joy of the holidays is difficult when they don't have joy or they're having difficulty bringing that joy out. That's one of the reasons why I really felt it was important to set aside time to talk about the life lessons and the leadership lessons that we all can learn and glean from the Christmas story. You know, the Bible is called the book of life. And the reason it's called the book of life is because it gives us the instructions on how to live that life that is full of peace, joy, and purpose. You know, all of life is about relationships. And the very first relationship that we should be seeking to secure is that one that we have with God. You see, Christmas is everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. The joy of the season is in the decorations, it's in the holiday parties, it's in the songs, it's in everything. Regardless of what your beliefs are in the religious area, the thing is you can't deny that something special is taking place. And for those of us who are Christians and we are celebrating the birth of Jesus, God's Son, made in the flesh here on earth, his gift to us so that we could have an intimate relationship with him. It just heightens that joy that we have all year long. Yes, it truly is the most wonderful time of the year. And when I look at Christmas and I look at that baby in the manger and I look at the wise men coming from the far east to worship the king and the shepherds coming out of the fields because they are given this announcement with the sky full of angels speaking to them. I think how magnificent is my God. You know, to think that the God of the universe who created everything wants to have a relationship with me personally is very humbling. But you know what? He wants to have that intimacy with each and every one of us. He wants that intimacy with you the same way that he wants that with me. Intimacy is part of life, and that's part of what we all long for and desire. It's part of our nature. And we're going to discover the principles of peace in today's leadership lessons from the Christmas story. And we're going to understand and get a glimpse of the wise men. Because you know what? Wise men still seek him. Reading from the Bible in Matthew 2, it says, now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east into Jerusalem, saying, where is he, the king that is born, the king of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and we have come that we may worship him. Wow. You know, there's not a whole lot said about the wise men in the Bible, but there is a whole lot that we can learn from them. Number one, the wise men were actually wise men who were chosen to give counsel to the king. Their job was to guide, direct, and confirm direction to him. One of the things that the wise men did was this. They learned how to be still, how to think, to listen, and to move with what they were perceiving. And this is one of the greatest needs that we have as leaders today. Sometimes we get so busy just doing things and getting all these little things done that we neglect to take that time to step back and just reflect. Okay, what just happened here? What would be the repercussions if we did this? Why is this important? And how will this affect others? How will this affect me, my family? Reflection is so good. And here's the thing, wise men know to take time aside to think. And then once that thought process takes place, the next thing is direction. Because direction comes when you have a purpose. So once that purpose is given, see, they had direction. The direction was, oh boy, look at the signs. Wow, there's a new star in the sky. Oh boy, a king has been born. Where is he? And so they knew what to do. They began to plan this entourage of people that would be required to be able to carry these massive amounts of gifts to come and to worship this newborn king that was born in Bethlehem. And they followed that star. Can you imagine what it was like when they came into the city there where Herod was, and here they are, very proper and prim, high on their camels, loaded down with gold, frankincense, and myrrh, looking for the king. And the king's going, wait a minute, I'm the king. There ain't going to be no other king around here. But he didn't say that to the wise men. No, he played along with them. Oh, when you find him, would you come back and tell me so I can come worship him too? But when the wise men left, they didn't come back the same way. They went back a different way because they weren't going to put the new king in danger. See, when we operate in wisdom, especially the wisdom that comes from God, we know things. I mean, did you ever just know that you know that you knew that you knew that you knew something and you just couldn't get it out of your spirit? That's how the Holy Spirit talks to us. His spirit speaking to our spirit, giving us guidance and direction. And so these wise men, they followed that leading of the Holy Spirit and went a different way and protected the baby. And you know what? Even though the wise men were traveling on these roads where they were vulnerable to attacks, to robbery, and I'm sure they had armed guards around them and all of that, the one thing that you always see when they're moving in that confidence, along with the wisdom, is this: peace. Peace. That's going to be the main topic that we're going to talk about these next few minutes here, because everybody is searching for peace. So, where is your peace? Well, that's an important thing for us to talk about. So, here we go. Merry Christmas, everybody. All right, wise men still seek him. Do you have a desire to be wise? Well, then wisdom, the best kind of wisdom, comes from the source. So, our life and leadership lesson today is going to focus primarily on peace. Now, throughout the Bible, God reveals his desire that we live our lives completely in peace. Now, at the birth of John the Baptist, which is the opening of the Christmas story, Zechariah, the father, prophesied that his son John would guide our feet in the path of peace. See, everything is laid, the foundation is laid with peace. One of the titles of Jesus is Prince of Peace. Prince of Peace. You see, a right relationship with God always brings peace. God's peace will carry you through the seemingly impossible. And that's what happened in the Christmas story, because 6 months later, after this episode with Zacharias saying John would lay the foundation with peace, the angel came to Mary and said, "You're going to have a baby." But it's impossible. But see, she still had peace because she had that intimacy with God. And when he spoke that to her, her response to her was, "Me? Oh, whatever you say." What about you? What about me? When God speaks to us, are we able to say whatever you say? What impossible situations have taken place in your life or are taking place in your life? Are you limiting yourself by saying, "That's impossible"? No, no, no. Here's what Mary said: all things are possible with God. And that's what I want to say to you today. All things are possible with God. Listen, I do have the live chat on, so if you're watching by Facebook, you can go ahead and in the post section, go ahead and post who you are and where you're from. And if you have a question or just kind of want to, respond to us there, you're welcome to. I have the ability to see that, and that will help me if I need to really focus on something that was said in order to help you. Okay. All right. So Jesus' title is Prince of Peace. And then the next thing that we see here, Mary, she operated in peace when the angel came to her and gave this news of something impossible. She didn't panic. She didn't say, "Oh, no, no, you got the wrong person." No, she said, "Be it unto me according to your word." That's always my heart's desire when I'm speaking to the Lord. Whatever you say, Lord, help me to trust you. Be it unto me according to your word. That's what I want for you too. Well, the next thing that happened is we see in the story is there's shepherds in the field and they're tending to their flock, and all of a sudden, boom, in the sky it lights up. And it says, and suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts praising God, saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth, and peace, goodwill to men." See, there it is again. Peace is a desire that God has for you and I. See, peace is not the absence of problems or conflict, not at all. It's having security in the midst or in the middle of those problems. You know, it is possible to go through difficult times with peace. I can give testimony to that. I've been through a lot. And each time I said, "Lord, help me not to lose my peace. I draw on your peace." And you know what? He gave it to me. Does that eliminate the hurt or the pain or the disappointments? No, it doesn't eliminate it, but it changes our attitude. It puts us in a position where you can still sleep at night, to where you can still have a smile on your face, even when things are tough. See, that's the peace of God that passes all human understanding that came when Jesus came into the world. So here's my question for you, and please go ahead and post in the chat for me. Do you live in peace? Wow, what a question. Are you willing to allow yourself to grow and develop? Well, let me rephrase that another way. Are you teachable? Are you willing to learn? Are you teachable? You see, this is what wise men do. They reflect, they think, they answer these kinds of questions, and they're honest. When you're facing problems, decisions, and battle in your life, let peace be your guide. See, peace is like that peace, like if you're in a baseball game and the umpire is the one that says safe. Well, peace is like the umpire. When you have that security, that peace, you know that you're doing okay. You're going down the right path. Don't allow yourself to be robbed of this precious gift. The fruit of the Spirit for Christians is this: love, joy, and peace. Those are the first three. See, they go together. I call those the triplets: love, joy, and peace. Don't allow yourself to be robbed of that. Pursue peace and go after it and never give up. The presence of God is a safe zone. See, when Jesus had completed his mission and his purpose here on earth, and it was time for him to go and return to the Father, he knew he was going to the cross. He pulled his disciples together, and this is what he said to them. He said, "Peace I leave with you." Now, that wasn't just meant for him, that's meant for you. That's meant for me. Peace I leave with you. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not let it be fearful. See, these are some things that we need to understand in order to operate in peace. Don't be fearful. Don't let our hearts be troubled. We have a choice on how we receive the the problems and the circumstances that come into our life that are designed to pull us down. We don't have to let that happen. See, we can choose to operate in the peace that comes from God and that security in our relationship with Him. Hey, Master Heath, so good to see you from Huntsville, Alabama. So, these things I have spoken to you, and here's what Jesus said, so that you might have, you got it, peace. In the world, you may have tribulations, or you have tribulations. So many people think that once I become a Christian or give my heart to the Lord, all my problems are gone. No way. We live in this world. So we're going to go through the problems and the situations that require us to be here on this planet. So there will be problems. The difference is we have wisdom that comes from God, which also gives us a peace to be able to go through those things. And it says, take courage. Take courage, for I have overcome the world. And what he's saying, since I have overcome the world, I am giving you what you need to overcome the circumstances in your life. So, how do you access peace? We're talking about lessons from the Christmas story. Peace is all through there. Accessing peace involves these four things. Number one, you have to activate it. Sure, you can wait for it to fall on you, but guess what? It may or it may not. There's no certainty of that. I don't want to live that way. I want to know that I have peace 24/7. So you have to activate that. You have to ask the Lord for it. You have to walk in it. And then number two, we protect our peace. Oh, now that's a hard one. Okay. Oh boy. Because what happens when you get upset? I mean, you want to say things that you really don't want to say or you regret saying later. But when we activate that peace, then we take that next step and we allow God's wisdom to work through us so that we don't say those things. You just put your hand over your mouth and just guard your mouth, guard what you're going to say, protect your peace, guard your words, okay, guard your actions, operate in peace. So activate it, then protect it, then face your fears. You see, too many times the things that we're afraid of aren't even worth being afraid of because it's not a realistic fear. Other times the fear is very real. But the thing is, every time that you take that step to face your fears, you have the courage and the ability to overcome. Your fear will consume you if you don't take those steps forward. in peace and confidence that you will go through this with God. And then here's how you do that. You trust God. So as you access peace, remember these 4 steps. Choose to operate in peace. What a great way to start the new year. Merry Christmas to you. Listen, here's what happens next. I have my notes from today. And if you would like to have these notes for yourself so that you can study them or you can share them with other people or your family or your kids, or maybe you teach a group and you want to be able to share these, just type in the comments now, I'm in. And we have quite a few this morning that are in, and we've already started the process to get them. So we will get these notes to you. I also have another one that I won't go over here with you today because I want to be respectful of your time. But this is a sheet that I came up with on the Christmas tree because I love Christmas and I love the tree. And each part of the tree has a meaning to me. And I put that down, like the tree or trees of righteousness. And then there's scriptures for each of these. And then the color is green, which means new life. And then the branches show our dependency on Jesus. He said, I am the vine, you are the branches. Then there's the white snow, which represents purity, and the ornaments, which represent the fruit of the Spirit. That's God's character growing in us. And then there's the light, which is drawing us to the Lord and then drawing others. And then there's the angel, a reminder of God's provision, because their purpose is to see to it that his promises are brought to us. And then there's the gifts, knowing that the greatest gift of all is God's Son, Jesus Christ, to us. So, Merry Christmas to you. Go ahead and type I'm in, and we will be in contact with you and get you the notes from today. Merry Christmas, everybody, and God bless you.